October 28th, 2025, BBAI had a nice dip towards the end of the day, and I had a plan that if it dips towards my support trend line, I will buy extra shares. And boy, did I ever. I'm now in a full position of BBAI, both shares, a handful of calls, March and January. I wouldn't go any shorter because we have earnings coming up, and you don't want that to bleed. I mean, look at this January one, already down 13%. You think you can handle that? And then I have some cash secured puts. So if it continues to dip, that's fine. I'll be able to buy the shares at a cheaper price. If it goes up, I collect the premium. I just love cash secured puts. On my small account, I got a really nice cost basis now, 6.88. It's already in profit, and so it's looking good on my small account. Now, why was I not scared? Why did this not frighten me, this dip? Because I've already drawn the pretty lines on the chart. There's a clear support trend line from this point here, and it's not just an arbitrary point, it's a clear inflection point all the way to its last inflection point that happens to coincide with, if you look down here, with a oversold RSI status. Now, some other things that I noticed is that on the breakout, we had good relative volume. If you look here, we had good relative volume. This is a relative volume indicator, relative volume density. So that was positive. So 800,000 shares to get up there. And now we had all this trading activity. This is where it showed up on my scanner because we had 4 million shares traded, very little movement. When you have 4 million shares traded, you'd expect some sort of movement. That means buyers and sellers are at war with each other. And you have some strange activity going on. So then 800, almost 900,000 shares to go up. Now look at 4.5 million shares to go down. That tells me that someone was buying the heck out of these shares, or someone has a huge short and they expect it to go down. You never really know. But I like to think that this is accumulation. One other reason why I think that is if you go to the 30-minute chart, look right here in this area, these two candles. Let's make this a little bigger. Another imbalance. This red candle right here, 587,000 shares to get down to this level, about 677, and then to go up in this little tiny candle, 700,000 shares. So a lot more volume here. That tells me that as it got closer to the support line, buyers started stepping in. They started saying, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good price at the support line. I'm going to buy. And what do we see from there? Yep, we see it go up and up. And right now it's an after hours, so you can't really trust the price action yet. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Now, what's my plan going forward? And what do I think is going to happen? Well, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I'd like to think it's going to keep drifting up along this trend line and maybe kind of bouncing upwards until earnings. And I believe earnings was coming up soon. So that's one possibility. Of course, it could break down, but you would really need a strong catalyst for it to break down. We do have FOMC tomorrow. So FOMC is where we get the interest rate decision. Now, if something crazy happens from FOMC, that could be a catalyst to go down. It could also be a catalyst to go up. It could also be nothing, and we just keep going along this trend line, maybe bouncing, like I said, until earnings, and then in which case that's our catalyst. So maybe tomorrow's the catalyst with FOMC, maybe earnings. Who knows? The line would never go backwards. It would go this way. So where's my stop loss? I'm not always right. In fact, my hit rate is probably in the 60% range. Correct. About 6.3. So there's this support line down here that I drew where it clearly bounced off nicely. And that, if we go below that, if a 1 hour candle closes below that, that's when I will take a partial stop and lick my wounds and try again.